right, everybody, let's get right to it on a Thursday. Quick update. Just let you guys know that waiting on Mitch. Don't know if Mitch or ATA will be able to join us. If not, it'll definitely be next week. He had some important business, so always, let's see. If he can't, I always prefer to get the full session with him. So at this point, I would almost prefer we just give him his own time and space. He deserves it. And so we'll see. He might pop in. If not, we'll get him next week. All right. What's going on, everybody? How are you today? You know what? This week was not a bad week. Not a bad week. First week in a long time. I'm like, feeling like I'm alive. Really? How are you guys doing? Great to see everybody. Obviously, looking at Bitcoin to start. Right back here at 43,000. I had something I posted in my group. Check out patterns. Check out what we had. We're back-to-back dots. And something I really want to talk about today are 4-hour charts and why I think we all should seriously be hammering down on 4-hour charts going forward for things like this. So here's Bitcoin on a 4-hour. Hop level at 43,500. Just capped it for the last 48 hours. And now you let out a lot of steam right here. Okay, without a lot of price movement. Look, yellow dot comes up against a bearish pattern. Bullish dot against a bearish pattern. We're probably going to bounce between here. You come back to 43.5. Really thought we could get to 41.1 and then go, but the dot came up. So that's all right. The whole thing about Bitcoin you want to see here is a sideways consolidation. If it's super strong, Bitcoin is just going to pop sideways. By definition, and I still am sticking to bring it down to 36K where the 382 is on the weekly so we can get some other pivot progress, start to look for a C point. But for now, break it to a 4-hour. Stay on that 4-hour time frame. The big things that we're looking for, possibilities here, even on the daily. Some kind of retest of the bar from yesterday. So again, that peak is at 43.7. And I, would look at the whole scene like this. Still on a trend line, still hugging that. Pause. Any big resistance value number, harmonic level we hit, just think pause, which means go sideways for 30 days minimum. So let's think this through. A couple others, of course. I think a lot of people are sizing up Ethereum at 2,300. We got a yellow dot today. This is important. This could be, again, since the pullback, depending on what you're looking at. Mostly, a lot of these started December 21. Ethereum was a little bit more bullish early in the year, but regardless, first HSI bullish dot in a while. And we have to go back. We'll go back to the chart here. This is what, Binance US? Yeah, really since October. That makes this whole deal at 2250 incredibly significant. That could be staring at a high level continuation. In fact, that's what I'm saying here. High level continuation for Ethereum about to begin. What do you think of that? So, pretty nice. Early in the development. Early in the development, but looking better. Today, just need a green candle. That's all. Anything above 2,300. The other one that I really like, I think this is going to pop to 30 soon. Ethereum Classic, folks. I just think that what we saw last month was kind of, God candle, king candle, however you want to call it, but it was a first kind of a push off of the consolidation, or at least out of the consolidation, and then we came back. And remember, Ethereum Classic was, don't get too hyped up on this move, because chances are we come back to a 618 off of that, which was 2350, or as low as 2150, but I like 2350. 2350. So this is another one in the development phase, big development phase. And again, go to the weekly. We know the situation here of, big patterns, butterfly pattern. Come on, where are you? Butterfly pattern on the weekly. You want this thing to continue, bust out that dot, and go higher now. As soon as we get above, really back above 28, this thing is lit, ready to go. 53.93 is target one minimum. I like that one. I think that's going to be one of the more surprising ones to play out. You'll go back and you'll say, of course, it was a type 2. You just had to stay in there for 15 months. Well, how tough was that? Not easy. Anything back here in the low 20s is definitely screaming retest of XA level. So, let me blow this up, make it really super big there. There you go. That's early development. I like that. You're in that zone. Okay. So far, so good. 4-hour chart looks like this. Again, 4-hour chart, probably more important than ever. At least, let's say, for the last 6 months, or at least especially since October. Had a whole bunch of stuff here right in the beginning of the year, basically pounding out 20 as your support, firmly in. I'm more thinking for Ethereum Classic that, look, this is done. And take a look at what's going on. It's complex structure. Preceding should make the return. Oh, it did. And we have another. Okay? And this is why I really like it on the 4-hour Ethereum Classic. You're just starting that move. Probably that 4-hour bar that started an hour and a half ago was the one. So like that. Like that a lot. One or two more of the biggies. Solana, I talk about second guessing. Solana with this 30-day phenomenon. Well, we have a dot on the 4-hour basis, and it is clearly 4 hours. Solana, this is a complex structure, and guess what? We just started to break out. Just started. So this is, Solana is not easy because you're sitting here looking at this daily on Solana. Let me get the right. Come on. Where's the feed? No, it's Coinbase feed, right? Coinbase. No, Binance. Regular Binance. So there's the weekly. 122.38. Is this it? That's the thing I keep asking myself. Is this the reaction from the pattern, and then we need to come back for the type 2? All along I said give it 30 days. 30 days from that inflection looks like this on Solana. I'm not there yet. If I had a bullish pattern off the top, I'd say, maybe she's ready to go. Maybe that's not going to go all the way back down. But remember, here's the inflection in 30 days was like there. There's 30 days off the previous high. So there's definitely your reaction. And okay, we're starting to push up a little bit. I'll watch it. We do have a bearish HSI that just developed on the daily yesterday. So I'm not ready to go jumping in yet. Great to see everybody today. What's going on, Mr. Lodak? Justin, he's telling me Link is pumping. That's great. Elvin, and Stephanie, Red, what's up? Scuba Steve, Cactus Leo, everyone else. Great to see you. Welcome. Dang it, you're going to do this again? So here we go. The other one, the big one with the pattern, was XRP at 52. Checking back. This thing is so ripe. So we get here's the check back point of HSI. Okay, we've been looking at 52. That's the big XA. HSI check back. It's a type 2. Yes, we have a yellow dot, but that's from this signal. We had another one, basically 50 cents, 52 cents. I'm fine with it. I'm fine. It's just you're just sloping down. You need to get out of here. Got to do a turnaround. You're 2-3 day turnaround. But that's type 2 perfection. Not to mention all the other patterns looking left. 47, 50, 52, screaming. That's screaming. Screaming. A few more. Let's look at Link. Why not? Link is, said this yesterday. Link is an interesting creature because of the high level here. We're up here, going sideways. Boy, that looks better now. Looks like ready to bust up, turn up. 4-hour chart. 1350 was, this 12 area. So we're retesting some big stuff up at 17. Yeah, maybe even a little bit higher, maybe towards like 1750. Could get there now, but I'm gonna have plenty of time on. If this is a big breakout, yeah, Link is set up for something much larger off of that weekly chart. But just give it time. Looks great, really definitely looks great. Last 4-hour HSI was bullish. But I'm gonna wait on that. I'm looking for 4-hour yellow dot, stuff like that. I really thought we'd get the type 2. Maybe that's one of those where we just have to wait for the next possibility. Definitely. Some of the others that highlighted recently, I find interesting that are, pattern after pattern after pattern. Here we go. It's CRV curve down here, 47, 45. Where's the confirmation right here? 40. That's 4-hour. Where's the daily? This is a daily. There you go. Big daily pattern. 44.65. You're right there right now. Okay, and there's a yellow dot retesting. That's holding here. I'm telling you, these are the kind of ones we want to be in front of the pattern, be early there. It's got, 45 cents, 44.65 is the XA level. This prior bat's at 50, prior crab at 40. I mean, you're right there in the ballpark. Other patterns that are, coming together right now. Where's Avalanche? Up here. There you go. Avalanche, look, did the type 1 on the daily. It's a perfect crab pattern. Reactions over. Here's where I really would love to see Avalanche come down. You guys know where I'm going to go. Can we get to the XA and then launch off of that with confirmation? That would be about as ideal as possible. Yeah. No, Avalanche is Link's a bearish shark all time. Could be. Pretty much if they're all going to go price recovery, you're looking for all-time 886s. But, this one really nice. In terms of patterns, not everything at this point is going to give you ideal pattern situations because the major lows were put in back in October. Now you're looking for patterns off the top. You're looking for 4-hour formations, 4-hour continuations. That's what that 4-hour chart looks like. Little bat, shark to bat. Here's another one. So Axie Infinity, 4-hour daily. Remember the big type 2? I said around 665. Or 675. You're retesting that bat pattern. Okay, this way we're just scraping there. Second retest on that. We just bounced off of that again. It's not going to happen right away, but this 675 level, really critical for that big retest, for this to actually be a type 2. Definitely. Nothing there on a daily. What's the weekly? Weekly coming down. I mean, a lot of this is, you've got a lot of these situations, the ones that didn't move, that are coming back in, they're letting out a lot of air here, where another week or two of just kind of holding slightly down, sideways, doesn't matter. It's going to give you enough to trigger another weekly continuation. So you're very close on that. I mean, under 7, yes. 675 is really the exact number. A few more. How about, who put that up? Someone put this up in the, someone put Caspa up in the Discord with a 4-hour chart. Who was that? I'll have to go back and look. The 4-hour on Caspa is like this. Where's the bat? Hold on, let me check. Let me just see what that one was. Hold on. Hey, it was Robert the Bruce. Thanks, Robert. I knew you put that one up. But which data feed? Here's what we had. It's like 9.8. There it is. 4-hour chart. So this is another one of those high flyers where we've let plenty of air out. Look at this. Here's some perspective, okay? Caspa. All the way down here at 1 to 14. Now you come back, that's a 50% correction. And check it out. You have dots galore. Really nice. HSI, yellow dot, sideways yellow dot. Really nice. I like that. Also, check this out. This is complex structure. Your red line is on. So pretty much anywhere after that first dot, you're in business. Generally, that's 10 cents. And now the pattern, the 4-hour pattern, hey, look, makes a lot of sense with a daily dot. Something, we want these all to come in. We want this retracement to finish up in the next really 30 days and start to turn around where everyone piles back in before halving or gets ready for the halving. Well, there you have 1, 2, 3 patterns right off the top on the 4-hour chart. Alternate bat, regular bat, Gartley, 9.8. Pretty nice. I would say that's the kind of thing you want to see if we're anticipating this continued price discovery. You know, you're looking for that next leg higher after this massive breakout, because ever since 5.5, that's been straight up. Whole bunch of things happening there. 1 or 2 more. Injective, did that get down to where we were looking on the daily? Maybe a little bit lower. Injective on a 4-hour. Not yet. That Injective, almost there. So here's another 4-hour pattern. Okay, look at this. High level, sideways accumulation. Pretty much you're in a 30-day pause there, or you're ended it. And now 1 and 2 at 31.40. 31.40, super nice. So we come back. If we can retest, that's a perfect type 2. You're almost there. I would say Injective setting up for probably the best opportunity since October. I don't know. What do you guys think? let me know. I think we might get Mitch today. Let me see what's happening here. So get in there. Still waiting for caps. What's XEQ? Lots of left history. I don't know what XEQ is. I'll look at that. You mean patterns looking left? I don't. ZEQ, no, XEQ. I don't know what that is. Can't help you there. XEQ. Maybe XEC. No. You know what we haven't looked at in a while but has lots of patterns lingering is stellar lumens. And you're right back at what, 11 cents now? There's 4-hour patterns, but the daily, I know on this one, we haven't looked at this in a few weeks, but take a look. Whole lot of stuff looking left here. And this is a lot like the XRP chart. Makes sense why. You know, you're 10.9, you're under 12. I think anywhere down there at 12, under 12, even 10. Gotta like that. Let's see. Not quite there yet, but lots of patterns looking left. That's another one we want to be really kind of focusing on. Here's another one. Things we haven't looked at in a while with patterns looking left. Near protocol. Butterfly. Wasn't this a weekly? No, it was daily. Couple of HSI signals. We're watching that around 220. It almost got there. It would be kind of a stealth type 2 retest off that butterfly. For a lot of these T-coin style plays, if we got that, like it's like AXS. You know, you're still on the low. And maybe what near could do is come down to 220. And that would be the minimum satisfying retest for the type 2, the qualifying retest. A few more things that have yet to move or have moved. Here's the OP AI, another one with patterns everywhere. This is just, you know, almost 4 up here and then pulls back. Again, looking for that just to be a type 1 reaction. And retest maybe 280, almost there, but setting up for a return. There's a bunch of these that are, you know, that have come together like this where they're either completing a big reaction or about to generate daily HSI signals. A lot of things are oversold. I have to stress that this last correction of especially the past 10 days did take a lot of air out of the overbought sales, if you will, to where this thing is in a much better spot now than even 10 days ago. You know, getting ready to set up here to make another move higher. Is this prime on a 4-hour? Wasn't there like there's a deep crab here? Another 4-hour. This thing has mooned. Looking for another retest, 4-hour retest. Come on down. But that's probably like 7.25. You're within 75 cents. We're getting close. Really, I think no matter how you slice it, you're 30 days away from life getting a lot easier or even not even worrying about things because you know that halving is coming. Vulcan Forged. Tell me what that is outside of Star Trek, and I'm not going to be able to explain it to you other than beautiful moon, but now pulls back almost 50% with a butterfly on the 4-hour. What's the daily look like? Did we get that HSI out yet? No. Not yet. That's pretty close though. Oh, that's why on the daily here. Oversold at the moment, but just registered like in the last, I don't know, week, 5 days, something like that. PYR. I'm looking at that, maybe 530, but this is really close, especially the 4-hour chart. Yeah, synthetics. We talked about that last time, and I think that's again another 4-hour situation. Where'd you go? Synthetics. There it is. It was $3. Right around 3. There's the 4-hour, but here, daily has pulled back. I like what you have there on the daily. Literally in the last 3 days, 4 days. And they're in the 4-hour. So pretty much, I remember, we just keep saying 3. Anywhere around 3, 317, maybe as low as 290, 285. But you have a lot of things there. You have, nice Gartley, a butterfly. I mean, look at all those patterns. Looking left on the 4-hour. That's a really nice coil. Can we come back one more time to 3? Give me a dot somewhere like there. Again, a lot of these are by definition oversold in a way where I would get get ready for that next level to move. Let's go to total. Let me see 1 second here. Oh wait, hold on, is he back? Okay. Hold on. I think we can get Mitch in here today. Hold on, man. 1 second. Okay. All right, give me 2 minutes on that. 2 minutes. I'll get him, pull him in. And let me just do a quick rundown of the total index. Again, 4-hour chart. At this point forward, 4-hour chart's your friend. And total one, completely capped at 162, 1.62 trillion, but you have a little dot, so we could see some upside action. Again, you're letting out a lot of air there. The thing I really like with this, again, you have another complex formation that hit oversold. So she's ready to come back and do another little pop, just like Bitcoin. Total 3, same deal. Oversold. Wasn't there a daily? Yeah, we got another really nice example right here of high-level HSI dots. What does that mean? It just means harmonic strength index. We have let out enough air, okay, to relieve this massive move up. This sideways action is let out enough air for this thing to set up and try to go again against the bearish pattern. You have a bearish pattern here. It's sticking out like a sore thumb, but tell me what it's doing. Look at that deep crab. Deep crab up here on the daily. Sideways pause. This is one of the ways that you get to a pattern completion, and I think a lot of people go through this, especially if they're new, where you get to here or there's your yellow dot confirmation. The window starts. So 30 bars to the right, either from the inflection, doesn't matter, or the confirmation. Just ask yourself what it's doing. It keeps going up, holds the levels, starting to tick back up. So looking good. The last one before I bring Mitch in was this Celestia, and another 4-hour chart. We're looking for 14 because it's a T2 butterfly. I'll still look for that. I prefer the type 2s. Prefer the type 2s on all of these, but I do think it's like come back to 14 and then get ready to go to 20. So far, so good. Give me 1 second here. Let me see if I can bring Mitch over. 1 second. All right, hold on. I'm gonna dial him up. Let me see what the other. Make sure we're back in here. All right, I got to turn that back on too. Great.
Man.
Hey, 1 second. I'm going to turn you on. Yeah, I can hear you. I'm going to turn you on now. All right. Mitch, you there?
Hello.
Hey, Mitch Ray in the house, everybody. Let's give it a proper welcome. Give him a proper welcome. Thanks for making it today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Sorry, I've just been kind of running around
No problem.
like crazy. Yeah, man, I'm still just like getting situated. So how's the stream been going?
Good. Yeah, we're just kind of getting into 4-hour charts. I think that's the place to be looking now. And really a lot of these that have kind of gone crazy. Some things that have done the moon pullback and then getting ready to go again. It looks like. I mean, here we go to Bitcoin. Did some interesting things at 43.5 on that 4-hour chart, and it's probably just a pause. It's I really think we still need that 36K to go to the 382, but I don't know. What do you think? Are we getting down to 36?
Well, I mean, it's not about if we are or not. It's just more always like to me, I always think about like our streams is like, hey, is there a discernible edge with a traditional technical analysis framework, whether it be Harmonics or Bukowski or Wells Water, whatever. And for now, I mean, like, yeah, Bitcoin's, off that low, that 38,600 level. You got this just rally, and there's no confirmation lows. There's nothing that I see short term that really sticks out as like an incredible low risk, high reward opportunity with maximum upside. And that's kind of what's covering in my streams on Bitcoin. So I think it's pretty coin flip-ish short term until you get some sort of like local bottom, like double bottom or something. I do like that the buyers in the morning defended 42K, which is the top of that major inflection zone between 40,665 and 42K. But, it's just great. I mean, all they did was defend it with a few bids, not many. You still haven't taken out that 43,600 level that the buyers just couldn't do yesterday. So, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm looking for the C point. I'm looking for that C point that would set it off, and thinking because I think a lot of people, and I'm just tracing some stuff out, but a lot of people are probably drawing trend lines that are saying, hey, this is that kind of trend line is going to continue on a rope at a 70-degree angle, 75-degree uptrend, and not pull back. Although we've seen almost every cycle after a 618 hit some kind of at least 382, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, I mean, I still don't even. It just is a bunch of chop, man. Bitcoin trading at the same price it was trading at December 5th. I mean, so we're talking almost 2 months now of sideways consolidation, and the bottom of the range we're confined in is 40,665. You're not there. I would love to see the price test 40,665, buyers defend it, and then it just is like a spring back test because the sellers violated 40,665 January 21st, 22nd, and then they recaptured the level on the date of January 25th, 26th. But now, since that level has been violated, you always want to see the market participants reconfirm the validity of an area that was violated. That has not yet happened. And again, as you saw December 11th, you saw December 18th, and you saw January 3rd. It's a very, very real level. And you can go back in history and see how real it is too. So, I mean, I'd like to see that. I'd love to see 40,665 be retested and reconfirmed as support, but we don't have that yet. So
yeah, pretty nice pause range here. It's almost kind of starting to build again like it did at 25K and at 19K. It seems like it is just a pause so far. I would love to see some kind of offshoot 4-hour pattern. Haven't had too many bullish patterns to go on with it in this uptrend on BTC. I mean, you really have to kick it down to like an hourly time frame that, if you're looking for turning points inside of there. There's some things, but they all are like, 1,000 point, 2,000 point bumps within this larger zone. So yeah, even I'm pulling up the hourly right now, and it looks like even at the moment you're squeezed 41.8, 43.8, just on the 60-minute. That's your clear range. So yeah, I'm still. I think I think we're gonna have probably another month before this thing decides to do what it really wants to do into the halving. And
I'll tell you one thing though. One asset in crypto, you might have looked at it already. Forgive me, but like Ethereum Classic, I've been talking about this on my stream and pinging people about it and stuff. If you do look at the 4 hour, you can really see what's going on. And like, man, it was kind of rough on that pullback yesterday. But if you look at the 4 hour, you can see like just a third higher low locally and all trading above the key inflection points. I can't believe. I mean, it's just crazy that the buyers came in today, and the way it looks, it just. I know it's not any sort of M shape or harmonic right now, but it's the trend and it's the ice line support resistance from history and the fact that the buyers are keeping the price propped up above it when it was just all the time resistance is now support. I am just impressed with it. I mean, of course, it could fail below 2258. Yeah, that means you're back in the range, but just look at the highs you saw from January 2023, July 2023, even December of 2023. You look at the supports from January and March 2022. I mean, this level is so real. And I mean, they're holding it right now. You think if they hold it long enough, there'll be resolution where you'll see a 30% up day just because there's such a lack of supply above 2450.
yeah, I agree. I did mention that when we started today. Ethereum itself looks real strong as well.
Yeah.
Looks like that wants to go back to 2,600 for now, but looking like it wants to maybe do something more. Yeah, I do think the Ethereum Classic is just 39.45 for now in the short term. Once we just finish this whole pullback from that big breakout move, that really was a 3-bar breakout first week of the year, and then typically inside couple of weeks inside, very common to see like 3 weeks inside, and then maybe a big fat bullish candle next week. You'd get a rising three methods, if you get the big engulfing three.
Oh yeah.
So maybe next week somewhere in there, but against that candle for Ethereum Classic is, I think, 20. If you're lucky, I don't think it's going to get back down there. We flirted with 22. 4-hour charts got lots of other things here that a lot of oversold conditions that this is ready. I mean, that sucker's ready
Yep.
to roll.
It's so prime, man. Just go back to 2017 if you have the data on this chart, and you can see like how critical of a level we're at.
Yeah, let me go back. Let me get a bigger
Yeah, you get
Coinbase.
Coinbase chart. Yeah.
Look at that, and you have I know I looked at this a while back where actually off of that 2017 cycle you had a bat pattern, and then last year you actually retested that. So I mean, there's so many things that held at 13. Now you can go to like 20 being I think that firm support low, but and all the other stuff you're talking about that's bunched up there, technically that's all in the 2022 area. Once you clear there, 24, there's nothing here.
I think it's like cleared and back tested successfully. Yeah.
Yeah, remarkable.
Yeah. $40 target. Yeah. And they're just, I mean, there are ones out there like, you know, they had their harmonic runs, 50%, 200% appreciation of value on average, but they to me look like kind of they. It's like the bearish reversal, bearish momentum shifting patterns have been painted, and I know they could. I understand they could easily fail because the trend has reversed and Bitcoin goes to moon. But if Bitcoin say we do go to 36, I mean those bearish reversal patterns like on Lind and a few others, they will play up. We'll catch more follow through. So, but something like ETC, find me a chart that really right now looks identical to ETC. I don't think there is anything out there there's this 2017 ice line from history that cannot be argued with or denied. And there was sideways consolidation, Wyckoff accumulation from December of 2022 all the way to even now. You are now like in the final stage of Wyckoff accumulation by the looks of it, where the backup, the BU has occurred with that run that we saw temporarily on the 13th, where it went to 32, 34. That's the backup. And now you've got the check back. And now it has confirmed what was once resistance to support. I just don't see, and just consecutive higher highs, higher lows, even locally and lately. A lot of the altcoins aren't really doing that. They went berserk though. See, ETC never went on this insane rampage like a lot of the other alts did, which is interesting. Where it's just, you know, like Filecoin and HBAR, they went on their runs and they went to the top of their harmonics, or they at least hit the C point of the harmonic. And ETC has not even come close. And $40, by the way, is the top of a harmonic. So again, like I just have like a high conviction rate, I guess, a high conviction on Ethereum Classic over almost all altcoins right now, just because of the price action at key levels from history. So
yeah, that C point is 65. This is definitely on the weekly a target. It's a type 2 on the butterfly. And I just, you know, this is when you're there in the development stage trying to get off the low, but I think it's more just about time. You've seen this delayed reaction in so many of these, but they're, you know, it's prime to go. I mean, your lows are in any way you want to look at that. Even if you're just doing trend lines, every trend line you draw is pointing up. So with a breakout of the last cycle. And I agree. And again, that last push, beginning of the month, that was, you know, again, a first thrust, the first type of move here. Yeah, what was the other one? There was, get your thoughts on Link. Because,
yeah, it looks like, I mean, probably reaccumulation, probably, but at the same time, your risk is potentially limited. It's not like ETC, because ETC has broken resistances, back testing, and formally has support, and hasn't really done it, like hasn't really had huge runs. Where Chainlink had that unbelievable rally in such a short period of time, and for 2 months now has been just sideways. But it just keeps testing a key inflection point from history, and there's just so much supply there. It seems that the buyers are never able to absorb level, but it does look like it's up 10% today, and it is breaking that resistance. 1642 is the top of that. That goes back to November of 2020. That's a break. You are ongoing breakout attempt right now on Chainlink, so that's a development today. I didn't even see that, so that's wonderful, up almost 10%. And yeah, I mean, you could be seeing $20 very fast above 1642. I mean, it could be very fast. And what I really liked about Chainlink, the only something that like kind of looked okay was January 25th and 26th, the pivot point. You saw a higher low get put in than the low from January 8th on the daily, which, what does that represent? Represents accumulation more than before. So kind of partial decline behavior of a rectangle, which is, you know, huge upside. I mean, probability. And that seems like it's going on right now. So you do have a target of like $19.20 to $20. If you just look left at the August 2020 peak, a peak from February 2022, some chop from July 2021. $20 is the big number. I mean, if the buyers are ever able to break $20, that's where you're talking insane markups, like mania markups, where an easy run to like 40% upside above $20, where you just go straight to $28. See the next overhead resistance. from January 2022. So it does look very, very good right now, this price action and this breach above the inflection point. So
Yeah, it looks like that all-time high was around 52. And what's interesting, you go to the monthly, I've seen this a lot where in these recovery crypto, they're not, they're recovering from the last cycle, they're not in the new highs. You're just kind of clipping higher. You hit like a 236 on a weekly or monthly, and you go sideways. But all these green monthly candles, even that the ability to close that yesterday, green, I think was significant because it was flashing a little red. All time 382 on Link is about 25, and that's a likely first target for this.
you do a
Up
golden zone.
golden zones. Yeah, I mean that even puts you like well into the 30s. Like a 618 all time is like 35, and that probably makes sense here once you clear this out. Um, I think you washed out a lot of things, in the last month. You were able to kind of
Yeah, or 2 months for some, for a few.
yeah, six
Like Chainlink
weeks.
was 2 months, man.
So now you're back into a new month, and it's setting up for where at least February could begin kind of a continuation. You got to get out of, you got to kind of clear the last 30, 60 days of resistance in a lot of these. But we've seen it. Even the high flyers are starting to move. That let's say I posted this as a crazy this TAO Tau Bitten Sore. Just
How? Yeah, I think went nuts, right? It's already gone.
yeah, absolutely. Well, it was 480 yesterday, but let me get a good. Yeah, that's a monthly. That's why. Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's just rocking. But this is the kind of thing that we want to see on a lot of these crypto that did the big thrust move, and then Tau, essentially right around the 20th, it tops out, gives us a high level retracement, continuation, some continuation signals early January, and then goes again. This is what I'm looking for with a lot of those. It could be Inject,
Soul. That reminds me of Soul right there.
Sol, Solana, absolutely. That's what I'm thinking. Like I really thought Solana would roll down, come back to 47, but it's holding up 30 days later. And we're seeing this kind of a thing where what are the obvious ones that are popping like this? So did we get oversold in the last couple of weeks? Yes. Is it, forming a higher low? Are you starting to bust out here? And I think a lot of them you can say yes, even though they are, still need a little bit more time. But here's, I'm going to pull up Immutable X. Big thrust, like I said, from, what was that, 40 cents to 240. That pulls back. So this is, really the proposition at this point. A daily retracement, pause, pullback. Now, anything here on the 4 hour, get daily oversold, give me some 4 hour patterns, and then let's start getting going again. Because this one, no, maybe it was Injective that I had some patterns. Oh, this one, there you go. Here's Immutable X with it's a bat pattern right off the top, from basically December 11, 886 swing. So, around 170, 173 would be the type 2. A lot of these are, I just think, really close to setting up. Here's Injective. Let me see this one. Oh, I did cover this. It was Injective INJ is just big Gartley, type 2 Gartley off the top and coming back. So around 31. But a lot of them did get, they held up. Injective, 4 to 40, and it only pulled back from 40 to 30. So, and you're getting some big continuation signals at a high level, where you're not going to get that much of a pullback on stuff like this, especially if it's already been, this one is broken out. It's in price discovery on this cycle, new highs already. Weekly's printing a couple of bearish things, but I'll be looking at this 30 level, 31 on that 4-hour chart if these things can retest type 2 4-hour patterns. So
Yeah, it's just man, once like INJ though, it's just like, yeah, you can go higher. It's just, I mean, the upside potential is just always going to be inherently limited on the ones like that. I mean, it could also be like classic distribution where the composite man's like quietly, subtly offloading a major position because he made so much effing money all the way up. But yeah, I get it. It could continue for sure. Like, no doubt. I just, I'm looking for ones where the composite operator has just concluded possibly his campaign of buying, right? Like ETC. They're just in such different worlds. Like one where I think the upside is so much more max. You have maximum upside potential on ETC, and on INJ, it's like very, very unknown upside, right? Just based on the fact of where it is, what it's done in the past. And I do worry about like it could be interpreted as distribution up here.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you're trying to anticipate these ones that have skied for a next leg if it's like Tau or one of these others. But um, I would need concrete patterns. I've got one in Avalanche, and and also Solana is the other one. Is that going to is that going to give you a continuation now, or is that distribution needing more of a pullback? I'm thinking further we get outside that 30 bar window, maybe it's not coming back. But Avalanche has got really a nice daily pattern right off the top. This would be a better, I guess, something better thing to go on, better structure to go on if we retest 28, and then
Yeah,
in your weekly
like a double
basis.
bottom. Like,
Yeah,
give me a confirmation low, like it is clear and concise, a back test of the high from August of 2022. Yeah, like just, I mean, it's my Avalanche. I've got like a channel, and it broke out of the channel on the 28th, and now today it is back testing the supply line as a demand line. It's trying to flip, but I mean, those are just trickier. They're harder to manage your risk.
yep.
I'll send you my chart.
I just sent
That's
you
what I
mine.
got.
Okay, I just sent you mine.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have that's weekly on there. I just sent you the weekly what that looks like of come back and kiss this the zone. The weekly zone's massive. Never got fully. I thought we'd get to 64 for the target one, but uh, generated just oversold at up at 50. But I still think this is setting up where if you complete that, you've got a daily, you've got a weekly here going into the cycle, with for a little extra flavor of like, okay, give me some bullish patterns going into this bullish season that are ideal stuff, retested things and weekly structures that, like you said on Ethereum Classic, are in the position to go, haven't fully pumped yet. So I think that's another one with at least a target one on its back.
yeah. It sucks because I mean, just I beat a dead horse talking about it. It's like most have already run. Most have already like gone up 50 to 200%. I mean, like in the past 3 months, and things just aren't as attractive to me as they had been. But yeah, there are some few out there that still look okay. But if the macro like reverses the downside, none of it'll play out. Like even ETC will fail if like Bitcoin wants to correct more. Cool to see Bitcoin over 43K, and again, defending that 42K level. I think Ethereum could be set up for. I mean, Ethereum really does look like okay, man. I mean, the kind of that local double bottom, that confirmation low, possibly put it on 24th to 26th. I really do like it above the heart line. But yeah, just a lot of the altcoins to me, just they're not as appetizing as they had been months ago, and that's okay. It's just that's the way it works, man.
Yeah, Ethereum is just yesterday triggered kind of a retest of a high level zone. I think you're looking at 2200, 2100. That's pretty much your floor going forward, and I still say 24.85. That's the big daily. That's target one on the crab, and even if I mentioned this last time on Tuesday. Let me bring this into the picture. I'll pop it over to you in a second. Um, Way to think about it, the way that the whole type 1, type 2, where are you in the framework? After we hit target 1 on this deep crab, that was 24.85. The crab it's a regular crab, that always was it. We hit target 1 at 24.85, and then we got rejected. Now, 2 days ago, make this a lot bigger. If this was a pattern on a 5-minute chart, hourly chart, weekly chart, I would say that after just letting that much kind of a reaction after 24.85 test, that we now are officially oversold again. With how I look at confirmation, says this thing wants to go higher. It's not the way that I look at HSI, especially after the reaction, is how much does the price give up to let the air out, to get from overbought to oversold, especially off a critical level. And in this case, not only it wasn't that much, but you've generated a number of signals, 2200, 2250, that's suggesting this is it for now. And I haven't had an oversold reading like this since October, which is right at the low. And then the other one was back in early August. That was a bit early, but this is a critical level up here. I don't think you're going to get much of a retracement beyond where we are now. And if, just following it blindly, I would say this 2300 is going to pop really soon, and you'll find yourself back at close to 2500, I think, in the next week, 10 days tops. Just where we are in that. Let me see here. Yeah, this is a lot of the readings that I look at are just getting above their 50 level, and I would think we're really close. Get a 3-bar breakout, any daily close above, what's that high? 2390. A daily close above 2390. That sets it in motion for another little kind of jaunt like that, where you go 22, 23 up to 26. Super short term.
Sorry?
Super short term.
Yeah, but at least it's showing a confirmation low. Bitcoin not really doing that as much. Ethereum showing potential confirmation low on the daily. That's what I love about it. And where if you wanted to set a stop loss, it's kind of tough because 2130 is a support. But if you set a stop below the local low put in, you're not losing much if it failed. And the upside's pretty high, I think. I think you could be shooting for 2800 to 2900 if this really does hold here.
A lot of daily wicks, though, as well. I think this has been interesting over the last month, where early December, every time they've taken it under 2200 on the day, it's just like a wick, and it gets bought back up. I think that's like the ETF buying that we saw in Bitcoin back at 25. Lot of similarities here to where Ethereum is playing catch up.
Yeah, it has not even come close to playing catch up. Have you discussed the Fibonacci retrace differences between Bitcoin and Ethereum from its all-time high to its correction lows?
I haven't looked at ETH BTC in a while.
Well, I'm just talking about, if you look at the Ethereum US dollar versus Bitcoin the US dollar, and you use Fibonacci, understand that Ethereum is currently trading below its 382.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin ran to a 618. And that's literally the top so far. So you're talking about virtually 2 fib nodes of difference in performance, and that much more to catch up, to play catch up. So let's say Ethereum caught up to Bitcoin in terms and just whenever, but it goes to a 618. That means from right now, if Ethereum does what Bitcoin did Fibonacci wise from its all-time high to its lowest low of that correction after the all-time high, there's 45% upside on Ethereum. The 618 on Ethereum is 33.55.
Yep. Yep.
And you just the way ETC looks, I don't know if it's a tell or something. The way Ethereum looks kind of okay here. Like I would not be surprised if we eventually saw it, and it could be rapid. It could be very fast, faster than you think.
There's the all-time 382 is basically where you are right now.
Yep, they tested it, and we're right below it.
Yeah, daily chart. Daily chart looks good. I mean, it's the kind of setup you wanted a month ago. You wanted some oversold readings a month ago. Well, now you have it. It just hasn't played out yet, but certainly this is I think a really fine spot. If you wanted to see some acceleration, it's from here. And I haven't really been that much on Ethereum in terms of saying, hey, there's a lot to go on since really that October low. There wasn't a lot of patterns in Ethereum. You had some oversold readings, but I like this spot. I like Ethereum even more now at 2,300 than I did at 17. Just a lot further along, and you're at a point where weekly time frame looks like ready for another leg.
Yeah, it does look good. I like it in Sol. I don't really like XRP. I don't really like BNB if we're talking about the bigger coins.
I haven't looked at BNB in a while. Let me look at BNB.
It's doing downsloping consolidation, but eventually probably break the leg. It could also just be distribution and a back test of that old level that it broke. I'm just not really that interested in it.
Yeah, BNB, at least it had a shark at the low. That's what it's coming off of, but that's all for now. I mean, it's get your 4 weeks, four of the last 5 weeks have been bearish.
Yeah.
I mean, officially, if it retested 201, that would be something. But even what's the daily? Yeah, daily is. Yeah, the daily shark's there too. It just is. It's rolling over at a point up at these targets after the pattern completion, where not much there in my opinion, not yet. I mean, get a retest, get.
See, it looks like classic distribution. 3 falling peaks. It looks like they're offloading and they're gonna draw it down more severely just for a back test. Just doesn't look great to me.
Yeah, XRP. Boy, if this was a spot, it's got to be a spot and a half, because there's so many things there right now. I know it's scraping the lows. Let me get a better. It was Binance, right? I've got a type 2 Gartley, and I've got confirmation checking back. I been sucking wind on this since 60 cents. Really thought that 60 cents was a sufficient pullback, and we go to 50 cents, and we're sitting right here at 50 cents. But you do have a lot of patterns here. And we have a little Gartley off the September low. Price action is majorly underperforming, but this is a spot where I'm looking for the turnaround.
Yeah, certainly.
Absolutely, the kind of patterns you would want to see where it comes off of that low. 52.2 is the big number. 47 is the 886 off of basically last year's 886 retest. You've almost gotten there. I even if it did dip to 47, I think this is the kind of thing where you have many patterns that should be paid attention to. It's been probably my most disappointing position of all, but I'm gonna hold through for some turnaround.
Quite crazy, man. Like I was talking about this maybe yesterday on my stream, where like, yeah, XRP is at that type 2 return of the Gartley. It's also at this key inflection point of 50 cents. And it's like, it certainly looks like they're not going to defend it. It looks like it's done. It looks like it's going to fail. And it's like, you just never know, man, because I've felt this way. Like, you have these feelings where they look like they're just not going to catch the bids, and then they actually do. I mean, XRP, the buyers came in a little bit today, it's up 0.5%. But yeah, I just don't know. I mean, it's such a bad performer compared to many others. So it's like, what's even the point? Like, congrats on your Gartley playing out when, one asset has had 50 different patterns that have played out and run circles around XRP. A performance, like, why even own it? It's just blah.
Yeah, I
But
think
yeah, it's there.
it's
Expect to
it's
return.
about the big weekly too. I mean, it's one of the biggest weekly structures, big weekly 886s that held. So I'm really I'm staring it in the face down here. It has to do things for sure, but this 50 cent, 47 cent. Don't want to keep moving it down. I think it's 52 is the number under 52. But now you got the second pattern since October, and it
Yeah.
did a crazy one too. It flushed up, came right back down. But this would have to be the spot in the next few days. And I again go back to the fact that it's a new month, so we should be looking for some things to develop in this next new month, especially if we're going back to next month. But that monthly chart's not so spectacular. Um, oh, you know what? Look at
A
really,
nasty bearish engulfing candle.
yeah.
I mean, but whatever.
Look at the total three on the monthly, total and total
Did you look
three.
at
Go ahead.
Bitcoin in the monthly? Did you see that?
We did for a second. Let's go back.
That's so wild. I didn't mean to detract from total, but that's just
No,
wild, man. Highest monthly candle close on Bitcoin confirmed since March of 2022. That's legendary.
yeah. Lucky they got that painted that green. It could have been a doji. That
Ah, well, dojis are coin flips, Could have been, yeah.
at the 618.
I mean,
I think the fact that it
yeah,
stayed green was really important. At least to not be so ideal. Like if that was hit a 618 and then came off, kind of like we've seen it a few times, but the last cycle you're like this with the 618 on the monthly right there. It was like dead on from the what was that? That was June 19, 2019,
yeah,
and it came off there, and that would set it up, and that's still the kind of the W formation you want to be thinking. But if that was a bearish candle, I would say, okay, we're going to probably do maybe 2 or 3 months sideways here, but still green. Yes, the daily important, and I think the other thing you have to hold monthly lows. If you're looking for this thing to do more, it cannot violate monthly lows, and right now that's 38.5.
yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, like on the weekly, like the candle high close from January of 2021, candle high close from June 2021, that was formally back tested last week. And there were so many bids there. It's crazy. You're just elevated. And then like GBTC is almost like nothing happened, like for all the talk about the fees are so high and they're selling their Bitcoin and it's like it's at $38. I mean, like that's still extremely elevated. And just like Bitcoin. And it's just
There's GBTC.
and you think about like what's happening. Well, like yesterday, New York, right, their regional bank, with 500-600 billion dollars of unrealized losses, and the reverse repo is depleting. It'll be depleted before the end of the year. I mean, we might have ourselves like the regional banking crisis might be rearing its head 1 year, like anniversary after Signature Bank and a few of the others collapsed. And you got to think, like, if you remember, Bitcoin's price action correlated, like inverse, like as the regional banks were melting down, and it was really scary. Like Bitcoin was running hard, and I wonder if we'll have that same type of decoupling or inverse correlation this time around. Because I don't think we're in what was the NYCB that thing? Yeah, like you think that's not the only one. Look at that weekly. Oh my God, working on the lowest weekly candle close since 2000. 24-year lows and crashing.
Look at that.
Yeah, so you got to wonder. I mean, like that's probably good for Bitcoin because it was last year.
What happened with NYCB?
They reported like 600 billion, $580 billion of unrealized losses, and that's like people just dumping. Dang, down another 8% a day. Wow. Freaking nuked.
What about like
other
Western
regional
Alliance
banks
or
WBA? No, that's
WAL?
WAL, yeah. And that was one that was on the chopping block last year before Federal Reserve intervened.
Boy, that didn't know that was at 60, but looks like it's rolling over. Yeah, maybe that is watch the banks. I didn't see that NYCB.
Look at MCB down almost 10% today. That thing looks terrible. Oh my God.
Metropolitan Bank, what's that, New York?
I'm not sure. Probably sounds like it.
New York.
Look at that bearish back test of $52 to $55.
Huh. I'll have to send
That's
this
so
to
much
you.
downside. Wow.
It's a deep look at it. I'll send this to you. This is it's a deep crab on the weekly. Check that one out. Get over here. And 52.87 was the rejection, so that's pretty interesting. There's a few of these, like KeyBank too. KeyBank,
yeah, down 3.6+%. Yeah, see, these aren't as I mean, I think it's just when do they report earnings? That this one reports in April. Yeah, because they had just reported on the 18th of January and it wasn't really a big deal. You just got to wonder, like, contagion, like what will happen. Yeah, these are all like up against like 1464 on Key Corp. Like they tested and they failed like multitude of times. I mean, like that's where time to see you back down $10.
Yeah, I know a lot of these had big bullish patterns a year ago, and I think a lot of them just did type 1 reactions. Bank of America, I'm looking at PNC. Wasn't there something there? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that one's bad too. Good God.
Yeah. I mean, the only one really moving is JP Morgan in that, longer term trend, like making progress. Let me see here. Yeah, JP Morgan's like the only bank that did major moves off of that low of the big ones. It actually made to all-time high. A little overbought.
Wow.
Yeah.
And those aren't going to be the issues. Those aren't the ones. They wouldn't be the ones melting down just because they're like they've already failed. They've already been nationalized. Or a lot of them have. So, I mean, it's the regionals. It's the smaller ones, like Regions Financial. I looked at that. It looks terrible. Like it's breaking back below this swing low from 2021 and 2022. The trend is so bad. It's just a bunch of lower highs, lower lows. I think it's probably just made its lowest high, and it's about to probably make its lowest low, retest it.
Yeah, they don't look like they rebounded. That looks like a long term.
So I would think that like that's good though for Bitcoin. Like you want Bitcoin to moon sooner. The sooner we get more regional banking crisis, sooner it'll happen probably.
What about that Ethereum Grayscale?
ETCG.
Yeah, or the ETCG, because here's the Ethereum chart, that Grayscale.
It's not doing well today. It's like down 5%, not really correlating with ETC today at all. But yeah, it is so close, man. Like above $14 is moon, man.
Because a lot of them did give patterns at the lows when their spots didn't. ETCG.
Certainly, it was incredible. July 2023. the bullish back test of the ice line from 2018-20 is unbelievable. Like god levels of bullish, low risk, high reward opportunities. Like you even got like one test in March 2023 and the second one in June. So amazing. HE was good. Like LTC, was it G or whatever was good. The
LTCG,
Litecoin
yeah.
derivative.
I saw that one a little
Yeah.
while ago. There was something down there at 9 just recently. I think it was what is it? LTC. What's the name of that one? LTC.
LTCN maybe.
LTCN, that's right.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was this recent one was here. I thought it was a 4-hour or alley something on the pullback. It skyrocketed. There you go. It was a shark just recently, back in, what was it? January, just 2 weeks ago. So big shark, and this is another one I think setting up where if we get a retest back to 9, that's probably it. So you're at 1180 at the moment. That shark was 866. And then you go to the weekly, though. I mean, the weekly is really just starting the recovery. I mean, look at that. Isn't it amazing? Incredible. I can't even get it on my, really, 400? 475 for that creature? Wow.
For Litecoin?
When they
Oh yeah.
you see when
Wow.
they released the ETs,
500.
yeah, and they released that sucker and they ran it. It went from 30
Wow.
to 500. And you know these guys were the first thing they
Dude,
were
that is
doing.
such a scam.
Yeah. And so those guys said, okay, we're in position. We control this market. Talk about composite operator. That is incredible because that exactly defines they can do whatever they want with it, and they take it there from I guess like 5-6 weeks after the release. You go from
$30, yeah.
30 to 500 for 15, 17x, and then dump it out over the course of the next couple of months, and then you're done, and it goes back to 2. Happens all the time.
Yeah, it looks like a standard ICO, like a crypto scam.
Yeah. But now you have, I mean, you've been basing here 2 years. That's a beautiful technical kind of foundation to go on, and let's get some
Yeah, Wyckoff accumulation definitely
oversold there.
happens.
So, but
Yeah, now though, lately it's kind of weird because that $13, the swing list from 2021 have flipped right now to resistance, and you've got like a demand line that would take you a little bit lower, like to revert to the mean of this little uptrend. I mean,
yeah,
$6.
yeah,
You could wind up down at $6 and then be fine and still be a much higher low and all that. But see that there's things like that. Like, okay, it looks like Filecoin or an S coin that pumped over 3 months. Like, I don't have an appetite for coins that look like this at this current time. I'm looking for ones that like just broke out and they're back testing the breakouts well. And that's it. This is just not one of those. It's like needs to maybe correct more.
yeah. I definitely, I'll target that back at 9, off at least the hourly,
Yeah.
and yeah, to come on in a little bit with this kind of stuff. Yeah, the shark and even your back to back, you're dealing with a bearish pattern at the moment. It's still pushing that lower. Kind of reminds me, at least on the pullback here, of like Coinbase, where Coinbase is still in a pullback phase on daily.
Mm-hmm.
I just got some oversold readings here. Here's the weekly, which is probably the nicest ideal time frame to be looking at, where it's a big crab and it did this kind of a move right up to the 1618 at like 170, and perfect reaction. We went bullish last week, and now we're scraping 127.86, which is the target, but it's starting to turn around. I mean, this is kind of early phase where we possibly get the return move back to 168. Now it's where's the daily? Okay, there you go. Daily definitely registered a bunch of oversold readings in the last week. Looks like that. So anywhere in this area for Coinbase is, I think, definitely to be looked at closely. We get above 130, close above 130, that thing could really get back to retest.
Yeah, you don't know how long these pullbacks will be, but like what I think about a lot of the altcoins is like, yeah, they'll pull back and the pullback continue, but I think they will ultimately make higher lows than the previous discernible swing lows and then rally again. But the thing is, even that means that like where Coinbase is in its correction, it could lose another 36%, 38% of its value, 40% of its value, fill a gap and still be making a higher low and still be fine. That's what's crazy about a lot of the altcoins too. They could lose 40, 50% of their value and they're still going to end up making higher lows and not be putting the newer trend in jeopardy. That's why I just kind of don't have a big appetite for them because there's just so much more potential downside and it's still technically okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think we're really in the first week. Maybe last week was the first week where you can start looking at the end of this Coinbase pullback. It's a big pattern on the weekly here, and it's a lot like MicroStrategy, same type of deal. Another weekly. This one didn't get down to target one, but we're oversold, literally hitting oversold as of Friday of last week. Today, this week you got to pivot out, but this is getting interesting where this could give us MicroStrategy could end up giving you pretty high level continuation signal within. I've got a deep crab up here on the weekly where it just did a massive run off of the last year's correction, 2022 2023 correction, and now setting up again. The daily is like this. Daily had some short-term readings that had even a smaller pattern in there. Where it's starting to just look for the return. I think you can get back maybe to 600 up here, do some kind of return test fairly soon. You probably the weekly probably needs another bar, 2 bars. But I do like that really this week being the first week, which you got here. Let me see here. Yeah.
It's just cool to see an ultimate line be regarded as a pivot point.
Yeah.
But
That
yeah, like
here. This is Mitch's chart.
something like MSTR though. I mean, like on the daily, like look at it. It reacted. Okay, like let's get some sort of local double bottom. Like I want to see a confirmation low. I want to see them retest that demand line. I want to see them retest that local low from January 24th, and then go. Or you could even make a slightly lower low, whatever. I mean, that's typically what will happen. You can see all these different times where it's normally like one and then two. This is just one time. So
I like the volume though. You gotta like the volume
yeah,
there.
it's pretty insane volume. That was like, wow. Yeah, it's the highest volume seen on MicroStrategy since maybe ever, at least in the past decade, highest volume. That's crazy.
Yeah. I think that's getting
Selling
washed
volume.
out. Yeah, selling volume where that definitely is washed out. Again, I think it's this week, probably Monday is the first day to look at that, but should get it on the radar. It's there are a lot of patterns. Mara did another pattern, retesting support. This was a 4 hour. The miners, there we go, 4 hour Gartley. Get back here. That need to they at least are forming patterns on retracements, which is Mara got really clipped and did a practically a 50% correction and forms a perfect Gartley in doing so, and that's always that's a constructive situation when you see it. No matter what the retracement is, I'm going to pull up this 4 hour chart here going back a year. We've got Like, look at this butterfly on the 4-hour. I'll kick this over to you to see it real time. Butterfly on the 4-hour at the low, and then surge up, then do another crab, come back, another bat. Here's another bat, and it just, you're stair stepping.
Sorry.
It's
Yeah,
me.
I'm here. I have my mic muted.
No, it was me. My OBS just disconnected for some reason. Let me see here. I'm okay though. But we're, you have patterns, and I like what Marathon's doing, where you're forming really nice structures on the way up, and they're consistently forming at, this pattern is higher, this pattern's higher than that pattern, that higher pattern's higher than that pattern, and it's just, adapting like price action, but pattern action, amazing. $3, $2 at the low, another low here at 10, and now another low at 17, and so coil on up and do it again.
Yeah, the trend is your friend. Yeah, the pullbacks are pretty violent. I mean, they're like 30, 40, 50% swings. Like, I think that's what happened. Like, a lot of the miners, they lost like half their value in like 10 days or something. But yeah, they do that, and then they end up making higher lows, and they'll end up freaking out and going up 50% in a month,
Yeah, here's Riot.
Crazy volatile.
Riot, another one. Big bat on the weekly, and dailies like this. And we had another couple of bearish patterns on this, but just doing reactions. And I think there's on Riot too. There's a bat pattern. Should be a bat pattern here. Oh, it's coming up as a crab. Regardless, you went from, you're doing that kind of a thing where you go to 859 to 17, come all the way back to 10. Let's go back here, 13, 15, something like that. But the thing that's got me is at least you continue to get patterns. If this thing was a straight off collapse and there was nothing here, then I'd say, okay, the price action's not constructive. This is constructive price action, as you are, really kind of dealing with the weekly. You're trying to resolve that weekly downtrend, that weekly last cycle. That's why I think it's taken so long. But all right, with everything that we know about Bitcoin supply demand, that dynamics about to change.
The passive flow.
Yeah, I mean, we should be looking here, especially with the patterns. I mean, it's without expecting it maybe to do the super moon just yet, but if we're positioned there, multiple patterns, yeah, I think it's ready, just setting up. Like literally a lot of these in the last week have set up, registered some oversold triggers. Now show me some things, show me some patterns, get a couple of days green price action, 3-bar breakout kind of a thing, 3-bar turnaround. I think you're there. We something to set up with the new month.
You talk about like the miners, there's like they're all over the place, and they've corrected, but I'm not really seeing ones that are like back testing very well, any critical supports or anything, except one, and that's Hive. And I just sent you the chart. It's just unreal. Like I don't. There's very rare you get to see an asset that's sitting at a level like this, that's so easy to manage risk with a stop loss and entry, and you have very real upside potential.
Yeah, big deep crab, right? Basically where you are right now. The hop level of that is 270, and we got oversold. It's a daily chart about 4 days ago. Here you go again. That's nice. I think this is a weekly.
Yeah, but
too.
Yeah, it's just the old open, that IPO price from September 2017, and then you see like July 2022. It's just the price action.
Oh wow.
Correlating to this level at $3, 280. It's just unreal.
Like there.
Yeah, like they're defending that again. for the second time here locally. I just love it. Just no other miner looks like this. You gotta wonder how to play out. SDIG looked like this, and it played out brilliantly, but it already like pulled back.
Sdig, what's that?
Just another miner.
Strong
It was an
digital.
old trade setup. Yeah, there was like a beautiful bullish bat pattern there. Took a while, but it finally took off.
Let me see here.
Now it's not
Oh,
really
check
looking
that
great.
out. Oh, that's really nice. Here you go with the type 2 at 435. Did you clip it? What was that, like a week ago? 442. You're so close for a real type, like official go to target 1, come all the way back down for target 2. That's a beauty. But that type 1, yeah, 4 to 8.
Yeah,
And
you're about 80. You're about 90 cents off the optimum entry level. Like I think anything around $4 is like the lowest risk, just because the range, the trading range, like that was manufactured in January of last year, like that's the bottom.
that's really nice. Really nice. Yeah, and that's the kind of thing you want. You're looking for kind of retest the low, especially with a type 2, and then go. Like this is the spot where if you can do that official retest, then you really can go off of that low. That looks really sweet.
Yeah, I think Hive's a little bit better, but I mean, like SDIG's like it was a trade that already concluded, but I guess it could be double
Oh,
dip
that's
time.
sorry, I'm looking at SDig. Sorry, that SDig was the one that was retesting. Here's Hive. SDig is the type 2 bat, and Hive is the longer term. Yeah, it's still around $3, like you're saying, and you got patterns there. Yeah, that's a better spot for sure. And what's your weekly, your monthly? Keep on. I'm gonna look at that Hive. I've been sitting on.
Yeah,
I was
posted a trade setup on it.
I've been sitting on Bitdigital for a while, and same kind of a thing. Maybe price action lagging more than Riot or Mara or Hive. Um, it's another daily though. A couple of retesting a few things, some patterns from the fall, some oversold, got oversold here recently. Retest. I mean, like a lot of the crypto, you're getting signals, you're getting patterns on these retests that make them worth the look. What was the Hut? Was the other one Hut 8?
Mm-hmm.
Hut 8. Couple of it for me. It's a little shark. It's kind of tough to
Ooh,
see, but
God, I got so wrecked, man.
it's yeah. But it did. You had this. You had patterns on the top. I mean, look, it was a here on Hut, right back to the top at 18 was a type 2 bat off the low. Now you're doing a little shark. Wasn't this a weekly thing? No, just a daily. It's a short-term daily, but it's there. I mean, like I got a pattern. I have T2 designated on the chart. That's the automated type 2 marker. So all of this around 728, 792 general area is just started. Like I said, like a lot of these, literally in the last week, there was some readings here. So it's still early. It'll take maybe another week or so to resolve this, but you're close with patterns looking left. I mean, at least on this, maybe not as nice as some of those others, but I do like it. Let me see
Yeah,
here.
Hut's like, dude, look at 646 to 731. That's literally like the bottom of a range. It also goes back to 2019, 2020 peak.
Yeah, yeah, a whole bunch of those all set up. Um, there was was the the ETH Grayscale too.
ETHE.
Yeah. What do you make of this?
So high.
Weekly.
So elevated. Wow. Looks
There you
like
go.
Bitcoin.
This one it's a 1618 right out. It's a perfect crab. I'll send it over to you. Perfect crab here. Rejected at 22. And, probably targeting like 16. It doesn't make sense if Ethereum's going to run.
Yep.
This thing should run too, but it's getting rejected at 22.
Just once though, they might retest. Like confirmation on if they're gonna.
Yeah, I
reject it, and then.
Can we do something like that?
Ethereum spot's making a higher low, same low.
Yeah. Look a little different. I mean, this is the daily chart. Looks like this. You've got oversold readings on the daily, but not on the spot. I think it's a little interesting how that's different. This is doesn't agree with the spot ETF, but it's it's still up there. I want to look at those. I think you're going to get another opportunity in a lot of those, like GBTC, the Litecoin, a couple others. Didn't you say there was something on XRP has got one?
Yeah, and Sol does too. The Sol one's crazy looking. Like what an uptrend. It's I think it's SOLG.
Let's look at.
Yeah, no. That's what is it? G-Sol maybe.
G-Sol, that sounds right.
No, that's gas. No, it's gas futures, oil futures. No, it is. It's also G-Sol. Sorry. Yeah, it is G-Sol. Sounds like. Yeah, whatever. Weird. But look at the freaking chart. It's so insane. Up 8.42% today.
Yeah, that's.
It looks like just reaccumulation. Moonson.
It looks different than the Solana chart. I mean, that looks like it's ready to do a massive breakout. That looks totally different than Solana chart.
Freaking wild, man. It's freaking wild.
Smokes, look at that thing. That's insanity. Yep. Why is that? What am I missing on this one? Why did that not come down? That's crazy. Why didn't that come? Like Solana went to what? It didn't trade it. They just held it. When Solana collapsed.
It's really tough to know, man. I don't know. It's so wild.
Why that thing doesn't go down?
It's like probably good. Maybe they're telling us something we don't know about Sol spot price.
Yeah, well, technically, that looks like that thing's ready to just bust. Do a
like $300.
Yeah, you go back. Solana was at 10, so maybe it's a 10 to. Yeah, what doesn't make sense though? It doesn't make sense. It's not. I have to look at how that's computed, but that chart looks manic, ready to bust. Yeah, I'll have to investigate that. Maybe this, what this might, I'll have to look back. There might be some kind of data overlap because it doesn't make sense. You've got data going back here all the way before Bitcoin. Something's not right on that chart. Looks like a great chart. Just I don't think it's right though.
It's a hack, man.
Yeah, I don't know that one. Show you one or two more. What do you think of? Where'd this go?
There's a Filecoin, Grayscale too. FILG.
FILG. Well, Filecoin has something right now.
This thing is freaking freakish. So no volume, but it's still so uptrending. It's crazy, man.
What's the volume on that? 20,000 a day.
It looks so good. It literally says 148, but I don't know. 624 30-day average. It's like you, me, and a donkey trading.
Yeah, you couldn't get filled.
Whoa. But it
Filecoin.
doesn't matter the freaking trend of it.
Well, Filecoin's back. Here's another one with Filecoin. A couple patterns here at the low where hop level is roughly $4 to $5, and you're there now, retesting some support levels with, short-term oversold, and then weekly is like just all-time super T coin 886, not even 886, like 99. So that's a reach though. The 4 hour wasn't there. There was something there on a 4 hour right now. Maybe a trade. There it is. It's just a super. You have a little bat pattern, first 4 hour bullish pattern in a few months, but all of that around 480, 490. Again, looking for patterns really that can you pop off of that? Maybe it's definitely a low risk area. Um, but just I'm looking for stuff. I'm looking for patterns that have formed off the top. About to give another entry. Where's the? Here's something that talk about obscure.
Yeah, I posted Filecoin so you can see how incredibly important this level is. 486 to $5. They're
Yeah,
trying to defend it. They really are trying, man. Because below it, it's ugh, you're probably going to $4, but looks good. I mean, it's like just right at it. No one's really buying here. Like it's like they're defending it, but no like follow through in any way.
yeah. Well, I think you can start looking now, and in the last 3 or 4 days of that being like the first place, but the next 3 or 4 days, you got to turn around here. I mean, you really, it's a nice spot, but you need to have that development now, not drift off. Um, and then here's just a couple other really quick things that kind of caught my eye that you probably never heard of this. Gods Unchained. It's on Coinbase. It's just a back to back. It's another pattern. It's a squat. It's another squat T coin, but um, really nice crab pattern with a Gartley, where we could go from 27 back to 40 or so. It's a lot of these gaming crypto, if it's Avalanche or Axie Infinity, a lot of these are doing this, printing patterns. Here's Gala printed. It's total T coin. 2 cents, went to 4, coming back, now retesting a lot of the patterns that formed last year with another pattern. And it's looking for that kind of thing for some signals off of that low. Uh, Pretty good here. Just completed 3 days ago, so you have some things down there. No confirmation yet, but I think you're getting close. You might be early at this point, but I'm thinking this kind of stuff, other things that have formed now with the idea that you got a 30-day window from now into the next month to finish these off, and then start. Really start something, start the cycle in earnest of uh, T coins flying, Bitcoin moving uh, in the next, starting in 30 days. 30 days at least before the halving.
Well, new month today, new price action maybe. That would be really nice to see that. I'm still just messed up by the G Soul chart. I still don't understand it. So weird looking.
Yeah, I want to look at that. Something's not right there. It might be a mix of data, but um, yeah, I do think though those grayscale style vehicles, they're going to give you big opportunities. I don't. I think that was just a
Oh,
first move.
you just gotta wonder. Um, yeah, I just the volume's so low on them though. I don't know how it can, you know, if it's real or if it's just a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, what like 4,000 volume? I mean, that's I think that's 20,000 to 4,000 volume or whatever on GSOL. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess with that such a lack of volume, they could do anything they want with that thing, right?
Yeah, they could. I mean, you're not going to get filled. If you want to sell it, you could probably buy it
Yeah.
at any price. You're not going to, but if you want to sell it, are you going to get filled? You need more data. You
Yeah,
need
but
more volume.
what if Sol like rallies, you know? Like how is it doing this and Sol is well off its highs? That's what's crazy. Is it actually going to track Sol is the question I guess I'm trying to ask.
It's not. The chart doesn't look right. Something wrong with that.
Yeah.
Just trying to rip through.
It's weird.
One or two more I wanted to show you here. The so metaverse stuff, they've all coming back off of big patterns. They all did a big thrust. It was Sandbox. Another pattern. Where'd you go? There you go. Right here around 40, 44 cents. Just another. So the ones that had patterns before, a lot of these are doing back to back, like this, where Sandbox right now, it was a shark up at 68 and then comes right back to 42. And you're right there. I mean, you got a dot 3 days ago, 4 days ago. You're pretty much right there sitting off of that bat looking for a return move. So for things that haven't fully developed or are trying to develop, I'm trying to find stuff like that. Yeah, it doesn't
But
get.
it's sand, dude. It's metaverse. Because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, what's
I'm looking at patterns. I'm looking for just big structures for things that are going to pop off. And Sandbox has a big bat pattern at a buck. Like this. I know it's metaverse, it's last cycle stuff, but you know, it's you've got things there looking left. It's if these are going to go on fire though, I mean, that's the thing we're looking for is second half of this year or after April for Bitcoin to start raging again and these to get money attracted to them.
I just think like something like sand though, it's like the most recent discernible events. I mean, like it made its lowest low and then went on this stupid run, one wave up, no pullbacks. And now it's pulling back from that, of course, but I want to see a higher low, like take it down to 38 cents, formally back test that ice line, as you saw from good God, man, it goes all the way back to February 2021. It's been tested a lot. Like if they could back test that very well and hold it and defend it, and then if maybe you got like a confirmation load there, I'd feel really good about it. I'm waiting for a daily discernible higher low. The first one. Like there hadn't been a real higher low put in a very, very long time on this asset. So I'd like to see that. And I'd like to see it happening at a key level. And that's sand would have to lose another 14% of its value to be seeing that key level again.
Yeah, I could see that. You're close. I'm just saying I think we're really
You're getting
close.
there, yeah.
Yeah, after correcting from what happened October to December, the ones that haven't really moved yet, I think they're getting in position. I think that's I mean that's the thing, the challenge here is you're seeing stuff pop off that go to all-time new highs that are, you know, have done the 10x and then they pull back and then they go again. And these other ones that are just like a thrust off the bottom, they're still scraping the bottom, maybe relatively not as nice. It's that's part of the challenge. It's, you know, there's a lot of things that probably won't continue. I just popped this thing called Super. It was another that went from, what was that, 7 to 75 cents. So, and it just going sideways, but it's tough to get in there at a daily level. There's, you know, maybe some 4-hour patterns, but it's just feel like you're chasing up there. So looking,
Yep, like INJ.
yeah, INJ, but you're looking for
How about
something like,
Tron, dude? Tron's like the cool, greatest looking freaking S coin. It's like the best. Tron, like unreal. Justin Sun picking his boogers for the communist Chinese, and it's just nonstop, higher highs, higher lows. You know what happens if it closes in 5 hours where it is now? It'll be the highest daily candle close on this asset since November of 2021, the tip top for Bitcoin. That is
wow.
so wild to me.
Well,
Nothing's doing this. Nothing.
this was a perfect type 2. I agree with you. This is a shark,
They defended it for sure.
and you're doing a type 2, but I agree that once you get to the type 2, you need to be on a rope, kind of like that. That's 11.9 for that one. Kind of like Ethereum Classic. That's a lot like Ethereum Classic on the weekly, similar chart. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
it's a little further along, but
Foreshadowing.
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to pick those. There's a lot of obscure things, at least obscure to me, that are I call them crypto 2.0, the new ones that people are jumping on. If it's like that SEI, Injective, or Tau, there are a bunch of these that are, they're fully running. They're not going to stay up here, and that's the other thing to think about. Anything that's already 10x, it might continue to go higher, but longer term, eventually will come back down. That's the problem with it. Here's SEI posted this of, it's already, just for me, that's played out. Even if it does another move, I need to see something. Need to see a pattern. I need to see something pull back with all of these that are, just set up uh, with, pausing, but not ready to go yet. I mean, it's the bunch of these again still need, I think, more work. Solana's the one to watch. Solana's like, for me, what that does here, it's already rolling back down. That was 105 yesterday, so it's back at 96. I still think this is consolidating up here. I know you were looking for that. It did break out off of your wedge, but longer term,
Mm-hmm.
I need to see this. This has to really disprove me, and really kind of blow through here for me to be something more than just a reaction. But we're
I'd like
close.
to see a higher low. Like if the wherever this little correction concludes, little pullback, few day pullback ends, like as long as it's higher than $80, then it'll be like a local higher low, and that'll be your first one. Because like January 8th, you had a low, then you made a lower low. And if we can start seeing a higher low get put in on the daily, that represents that people are beginning to reaccumulate, and the momentum is shifting back into the hands of the buyers in the long-term uptrend. So that's what I want to see. If we can get a higher low, then you're probably not going to get a more pronounced pullback. It would be the wedge, and just I'm thinking like if they can pivot this thing around $90 or $89, $85, wherever, and make a higher low, I
Yeah,
think you're probably in really good shape for more upside.
hold the
Just have
79.
to see that. Yeah,
Yeah,
you could test that again, but I prefer higher lows than the same lows just because of what it represents.
yeah. 3 bar
Like
range
if you
on
look back
this.
at if you look back in November and like multiple times in November, they tested like $52 twice. It was the same low, but then if you look later, there was like a higher low late November 27th. And
Yeah.
that right before that, that's when the big launch happened. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for some sort of higher low or the same low or something. You don't have that yet.
Yeah, this is one of those though, with big patterns looking left, of how you want these to play out, even though this was a year sideways, 15 months sideways almost, and then it really rocketed. This is kind of the thought where all the big patterns that you have eventually go to a target one minimum price recovery kind of a thing. Oof. Well, man, I think I'm going to cut it here. I'm getting a little talked out, but appreciate it, and appreciate us getting together on a stream. And let's circle back on your channel soon, do a stream there.
Sure, man.
And let's get back in. I think, maybe get back here in a month, where I do think things are going to be pumping in a month from now. It might be a few more bumps, but I think this next month is like it. And then after this month, before the halving, 30 days before the halving, you're going to see some things start to light up again, like they did in November.
Yeah, I think wherever the correction concludes on these coins, it's going to end up being a major discernible high or low, and they will run it again, because I think these harmonics they got put in 3 months ago, their type 2 returns, those were the absolute bottom signals, as we've seen throughout many years on different markets, of how these harmonics do usher in complete trend reversals. I think that's kind of where we are on the altcoins. So yeah, patience. Sorry about the 50 to 200% markup off those lows. But yeah, after the correction concludes, I think we'll be probably running to attempt to at least go test those highs again, for sure, at some point. But understand that there is still plenty of downside potential and the trend would still remain bullish and intact. So just understand that. Like, some of these coins go down to their 20, 30 more percent, they're still fine until they lose those previous discernible swing lows from October, November. So
Definitely. Well, appreciate it, man.
yeah, man.
Always appreciate you. And thanks again. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Please give Mitch a big thanks for having him on today. And all you folks that have been in here, thank you. Great stream, brother. You have a great one. We'll catch up soon.
Appreciate you, Scott. God bless.
All right. You too. Bye. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to wrap it up for today. Appreciate it. It was a great session here covering all of your favorite dozens of crypto. We'll be back on Tuesday. You have any questions, get over with me at Harmonic Trader. Become a basic member. Get the software. You know how to do that. Until Tuesday, folks, have a great weekend. We'll catch you next time. Go get them.